Today we will visit the three tallest lighthouses in New Jersey, plus the lighthouse at the Tuckerton Seaport. These three lighthouses are all within an hour's drive of Tuckerton Seaport.
I'm Charlotte Banks with the Friends of Barnegat Lighthouse State Park, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our park and our wonderful, majestic Barnegat Lighthouse. We're only around 45 minutes from Tuckerton Seaport, so it's nice to have another lighthouse close by. Barnegat Lighthouse is very well known. It's not the tallest in New Jersey. Absecon is the tallest, but we are the most recognized lighthouse. You see the photo of our lighthouse on license plates and all types of advertising about the state of New Jersey. It's very well known and very much loved, so much so that it's known and called as Old Barney by all of its fans. Many people ask us, why is there a lighthouse at Barnegat? Why is it so important? Well, in the time of the old sailing ships, this was a very dangerous area. As sands leave the inlet, they build up sandbars. And sandbars are a lot of fun for us to walk along when we're young and play on them. But when you're a ship, it's very dangerous. It becomes a shoal, and because of the unpredictable currents and the shoals, there were over 40 shipwrecks a year in this area. It was known as the graveyard of the Atlantic. So they felt the importance of building a lighthouse here. So between 1834 and 1835, the first lighthouse was built at Barnegat Light. It was 40 feet tall, which isn't very tall for a lighthouse, and it was only visible 8 miles at sea. It was a terrific failure. So in 1855, the Lighthouse Board asked Lieutenant George Meade to assess the area and see what type of lighthouse would be appropriate for the ships and to protect them. So he recommended a tall lighthouse with a large Fresnel lens, a first order Fresnel lens. Lieutenant Meade was responsible for designing lighthouses along the Delaware Bay, in Florida, and 3 in New Jersey. We call them the ABC lighthouses because Absecon was built first, and that's the tallest. Barnegat was built second, and Cape May was built third. Barnegat Lighthouse was completed in 1858 and first lit on January 1st, 1859. It proudly had a Fresnel lens of the first order type, and it was so large. It's 12 feet tall, and you can still see it today at the Barnegat Light Historical Museum. It has 1,024 prisms, which you're probably studying right now in science. A prism takes the light and intensifies it and bends the light a little bit so it can be seen farther out at sea. Our Fresnel lens was able to be seen 19 miles out at sea. Barnegat Lighthouse State Park is the most visited park in the state of New Jersey. Over 500,000 people visit our park each year, and so many want to climb our lighthouse with its 217 steps. Approximately 82,000 climb our lighthouse each year. The park is free, and climbing the lighthouse is free at certain times of the year, especially after Labor Day. When children come to the park and they see the statue, bigger than life-size statue of a lighthouse keeper, they ask us, what did a lighthouse keeper do? It must have been fun, living right by the sea, being here all day long. Well, it wasn't easy being a lighthouse keeper. They worked very, very hard. Barnegat Lighthouse was such an important area that we had 3 lighthouse keepers on call at all times. The lighthouse keeper and 2 assistants. And their job was to keep that Fresnel lens lit from dusk until dawn. They had to carry large buckets of oil up and down these 217 steps. Can you imagine carrying lard oil or whale oil up the steps at least 4 times a day? They had a lot to do around the lighthouse. They had to keep the lens clean at all times. They had to maintain the lighthouse. And often they even risked their own lives to rescue people and passengers that were stranded out at sea. It wasn't an easy job. That's why we pay tribute to our lighthouse keepers with our statue and our sign listing all of the keepers who kept the light lit at Barnegat Lighthouse. You might be wondering, what can we do when we visit Barnegat Lighthouse State Park? There is a lot to do. One of my favorite spots is sitting in the picnic area, bringing my picnic lunch, and then coming here under the gazebo and cooling off from the hot sun, watching the boats go by, watching the fishermen as they catch so many fish. There's a maritime trail, a nature trail that you can take a walk. You can walk out onto the jetty. You can just walk around and see the views, and the views change no matter what time of day you come. Dusk, it looks so much different than it does during the daytime. It's beautiful. And even during the summertime, our volunteers host around 6 night climbs per year, where we open up the lighthouse at night and you can climb and see a panoramic view of Long Beach Island and Island Beach State Park. Don't forget, when you're walking the nature trail along the maritime trail, also explore geocaching. It's something new, but it's really exciting for families to do. As you look at the tall tower of Barnegat Lighthouse, you might be wondering, where did the lighthouse keeper, his two assistants and their families live? They couldn't possibly fit all in the tall tower. Well, at Barnegat Lighthouse, there was a very large lightkeeper's house that was built. It had 18 rooms and 3 bathrooms. It was very large and very beautiful. If you visit our museum in the visitor center, you'll see a model of it on display, along with many other artifacts and history of Barnegat Lighthouse. The lighthouse keepers kept the light lit for many, many years. But in the 1920s, steamships came to the area, and lighthouses were no longer needed. So in 1927, the light was extinguished and replaced by a lightship. The lightship was anchored 8 miles out at sea, and each night it would have a steady white beam and a whistle that put out a sound every 20 seconds. And the lightship stayed at Barnegat Light until 1965, but it was no longer used as an aid to navigation. We are proud to say that Barnegat Lighthouse is also used as an aid to navigation today. After many, many years without a functional light, in 2009, the Friends of Barnegat Lighthouse State Park raised the funds to illuminate Barney once again. On January 1st, 2009, 150 years to the date of the original lighting, Old Barney was relit with a modern Fresnel lens. We are proud that it maintains the same flash pattern as the original, the flash pattern being once every 10 seconds, and it is still visible 19 nautical miles at sea. One might think on January 1st, 2009, how many people would show up on a cold New Year's Day. We were very surprised when 8,000 people showed up to our park to witness the relighting of Old Barney. It's an exciting memory that still gives me chills when I think about it. With the technology of GPS, why would one still need a lighthouse as an aid to navigation? It still is used as an aid to navigation, whether or not it has a functioning light. Luckily, ours does. But even if it didn't, One can tell what lighthouse they're at or where they are along the coast by looking at the colors or geometric patterns on a lighthouse. Those patterns or colors are called a lighthouse's day mark. So if you're traveling down the New Jersey coast and you see a lighthouse with a red and white day mark, you know you're at Barnegat Lighthouse. So it still is an aid to our navigators. Oh, yes. I'm standing here in front of a sculpture of General George Meade. We've already spoken about Lieutenant Meade and his important role in designing the three lighthouses of New Jersey, Absecon, Barnegat, and Cape May. But Lieutenant General Meade later went on to become General George Gordon Meade, and you may recall him from your history studies. He was an integral role in the success of the Battle of Gettysburg. It really was a turning point during the Civil War, and we owe its success to General Meade. The sculptor of our bronze statue of our lighthouse keeper was created by Brian Hanlon. He's also from New Jersey. He's from Toms River and has done many statues there. And it's interesting, his mom came to the dedication of our statue, and she's right here from Long Beach Island. He has also done a statue called The Fisherman's Story, right at Barnegat Lighthouse State Park. And one of his other well-known works you can see when you visit Atlantic City. He has also created the statue of Miss America, located on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, right in front of Boardwalk Hall.
Hi there, my name is Forrest Jennings, and I am a student at Stockton University, as well as a tour guide and an educator here at the Tuckerton Seaport. Behind me, you can see we have a recreation of the Tuggers Island Lighthouse. The original Tuggers Island Lighthouse existed on Tuggers Island in the 18 and 1900s. But here at the Seaport, we just have a model recreation of that. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to take you inside of this lighthouse, where we have a whole bunch of exhibits, where I can show you about the history and fun facts about the original lighthouse. So let's go. So we are now in the recreated Tuggers Island Lighthouse. And in the lighthouse, we have a whole bunch of different exhibits. Right now, we are in the Folk Life 101 exhibit, where we exhibit the folk life and folk art of southern New Jersey. Additionally, we also have the People of Tuckerton Over Time exhibit, the U.S. Life Saving Service exhibit, the Tuckerton Railroad exhibit, and, of course, lighthouses of southern New Jersey. So in this exhibit, behind me, you can see pictures of the original Tuggers Island Lighthouse. The original lighthouse existed on Tuggers Island, which was between Barnegat and Great Bay, just south of Holgate, the southernmost part of Long Beach Island. Now, Tuggers Island washed away due to erosion and a process called longshore drift. And in October of 1927, the erosion got so bad that the lighthouse collapsed, as you can see in these pictures here. These pictures were captured by Paul Ryder, a member of the Ryder family, who took care of the lighthouse while it was still on Tuggers Island for generations. Here, we're at another exhibit in the lighthouse. Here we can learn about different fun facts about lighthouses in New Jersey. Now, all lighthouses in southern New Jersey are located along the coast, and that's because lighthouses are used to guide ships that are sailing along the coastline. So here we have some fun facts. And one of the fun facts is that Sandy Hook is the oldest working lighthouse still in New Jersey. Barnegat Light is the most iconic lighthouse in New Jersey. And the Statue of Liberty actually is a lighthouse, and it was the first electrified lighthouse in the United States. In New Jersey, there's an easy way to remember our three tallest lighthouses. Just the first three letters of the alphabet, ABC. The A stands for Absecon, the B stands for Barnegat, and the C stands for Cape May. Visiting lighthouses is a great family-friendly activity to do. At different lighthouses, there are a whole bunch of different opportunities, whether you want to stay outside or go inside. At the different lighthouses, there are plenty of different exhibits, like nature trails at Barnegat Light, all the exhibits and the boardwalk here at Tuckerton Seaport. Visiting lighthouses is a great family-friendly activity to do. And when you think of lighthouses, your mind goes to climbing straight to the top. But there are a whole bunch of other different things you can do as well. Different lighthouses have different attractions. At Barnegat Lighthouse, you have a nature trail. Several lighthouses also have geocaching opportunities. Here at the Tuckerton Lighthouse, we have different exhibits indoors, and we have our boardwalk outside. The Jersey Shore is 139 miles from Sandy Hook to the Delaware River. And along this route, we have many lighthouses where you can learn about the history, folk art, and environment of the Jersey Shore and its uniqueness. And we hope to see your family soon visiting us at the Tuckerton Seaport.
When you visit these lighthouses, there are lots of opportunities to learn about each of them and even more about the history of the area. Barnegat Light has a large park to walk around and explore. The Barnegat Lighthouse, or Old Barney, stands 165 feet tall. It has 217 steps to the top, and it is the second tallest out of the three that we're exploring in this video. Absecon also has a visitor center where you can learn more about the lighthouse. Absecon Lighthouse stands 171 feet tall, and it is the tallest in New Jersey. It has 228 steps to the top, and it was also the first built. The Cape May Lighthouse stands 157 feet tall, the shortest out of these three, and has 199 steps to the top. If you visit Cape May, you can walk around their nature trails, visit their nature center, and see animals from hermit crabs to turtles and snakes. Not far from the Cape May Lighthouse is Sunset Beach, where you can search for Cape May diamonds or stones that become very shiny when you tumble them.